Brother Mayakala coming out to you once again from the highways, the byways of the city. And before we begin, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. I'm going to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Grand Milson, Aruwell. And I want to say peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. To you all, say shalom. All right, the Lord wants us to edify to the flock of Yahweh, Ba'ashem. And it's been a crazy week, man. Every week has been a crazy week because the prophecies don't pause. No, they don't. They might tarry, but they're surely gonna come, man. Real quick, let me go to I'm bringing this up because we're seeing these protests. We're seeing the government shut down. We're seeing people. We'll see people, even so-called celebrities, basically not dropped in, but they're being revealed. Everything's being revealed, right? So we go to the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me. And I will answer when I am reproved. We're watching. We're on the watchtower, waiting for the signs, the prophecies, the messages from the Lord, man. All right, we're watching to see what he's gonna say, what he's saying. All right, because the Lord's message is the most crucial message in the planet, man. All right, you can't understand, you can't fathom the importance of his message, right? This is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is on a level of such high importance. He's not gonna come to you personally and deliver you messages. Hey, I need you to do. No, he's not doing that. He's not gonna ask you to do anything, man. He's gonna send a messenger. He's gonna be like, hey, go here and do this and that and that, right? He's not gonna ask you. He's not gonna plead with you. He's not gonna bargain with you, man. We're talking about the King of Kings, man. The Most High, the power of all power, man. All right, so when he has a message, and he wants to not only deliver to the elect, deliver to the nation of Israel, but deliver to the world, you best believe this is going to be important. All right, so this is what we're watching for. We're waiting for the message. We got the message. We're spreading the message. But we're waiting for another message, like, all right, Jacob's Trouble, the MOTB. We're waiting for, because we received those messages, we're just waiting for those messages to play out, man. It's like, that's what prophecy is, man. To say before. We break down the word prophecy. All right? The Lord says something before it happens. So he gave us a message, and we're waiting to see it play out. All right? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right? The vision is plain. The vision is plain to the elect. Right? And we're running to the message. We're running to what the Lord said he's going to do. We're running away from wickedness. We're steering away from that because the Lord said the roads to wickedness, the wages of sin is death. Right? So we're trying our best to stay away from that and stay on the path of life, right? But hey, the wicked none of the wicked are gonna understand, man. All right, we're paraphrasing. Verse 3: for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. It might seem like it's tarrying, but every week, every day, something happens, man. Something prophetic happens, right? And a lot of things pop up this week, man. All right, well, let me jump over to the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33 and verse 1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord. All right, because the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, man. It's like, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, paraphrasing. Right, so you You fear the Lord by understanding who He is, what He's about, why He appreciates, what He detests, and staying away from those things, man. All right? The Lord detests abomination. That's why it's called abomination. So you stay away from eating abominable foods. You stay away from committing adultery. You stay away from defiling your temple. You stay away from being a sodomite. Right? You stay away from all of these things because you don't want to offend the Lord. You don't want to piss Him off. All right? And by doing that, it helps your life, man. You're not doing it to help Him. You're doing it to help yourself, really, at the end of the day. Because there's no evil's going to happen to them that fear the Lord. People will fear a man with a gun. People will fear a wild animal. People will fear a snake. But what about the author that created all those things? How do you not fear the Lord, which created fear in the first place? Which created a feeling of fear in the first place, man. All right? Verse 2. A wise man hateth not the law, but he that is a hypocrite therein is as a ship in a storm. So it's as a ship in a storm, right? The reason I'm bringing this out is because one of the things that we're seeing pop off on a nationwide scale is this so-called No Kings protest, which is prophecy in itself as well too, right? But you're seeing people protest against so-called Donald Trump, aka Nero, in the regeneration. You see people protesting against him and his policies and his administration, but you're protesting against that for what reason? Right? You might say, oh, he thinks he's king. He puts law in his hands. He's a tyrant. He's trying to deport so-called immigrants. This, that, and the other. He's trying to weaponize ICE. This, that, and the other. All right, you could say that you could be upset about the things that he does. Right? Me personally, again, I don't care either way because no president is for the people. No president is for the nation of Israel. No president is for the elect. Right? I would never vote put another vote out there like an idiot. I voted for a president before, but I was lost. Right? And that shit ain't get me shit. Right? Your votes don't do anything. Right? So you're wasting your time being anti-Democrat or anti-Republican. You're wasting your time, man. This is the division of the people that the Lord spoke about, man. But the Lord did this to divide the people. But nonetheless, what I'm saying all this to say this, you're upset at so-called Donald Trump and his administration for the executive orders he might pass or things of that nature. You weren't upset when they locked everybody in their houses. They mandated everybody to take experimental medicine into their bodies, man, with no repercussions. Right? You weren't upset when these pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson got immunity from being tried. You weren't upset when the former president pardoned that nigga Anthony Fauci. And he pardoned him preemptively, meaning that he pardoned him not basically saying, just in case you commit a crime, you're already pardoned. All right? He wasn't officially labeled as a criminal that needed a pardon. He wasn't tried. He didn't have a case pending or something. But preemptively, he pardoned him. You weren't upset at that. You weren't marching when they were shooting this medicine into children, right? But you're marching now, right? You say that you're pro-children, you're for the safety of children, this, that, and the other, right? Release the Epstein files, this, that, and the other. You gotta protect the children. But you weren't protecting the children during the pandemic, man. When they said anybody from the ages of 5 and up could get this jab and insert it into their bodies. And I know 2 children that got the jab. One of them, right? And I got this whole video on my phone. One of them, she got the jab. I think she was like 7 at the time. She got the jab, and now magnets were able to stick to her arm, right? Magnets were sticking to her arm. Right? Another one took the jab, and like the same day, she basically couldn't move. Where she was like 6 or 5, where she couldn't move, and her body was just like in a straight pain. Right? She couldn't move. All right, so why aren't you protesting against these tyrants, these so-called uh, doctors that obliged and conspired too? So what were they doing? Hey, the more jabs they gave out, the bigger paycheck they got. And so it was all a conspiracy. These people got together and conspired to basically destroy a generation, destroy multiple generations at that. Well, you don't want to protest against that. When they told you to close your business, but they let big corporations continue operating. You didn't see McDonald's closing down. You might see mom and pop restaurants closed down, mom and pop stores closed down. You see Burger King closed down. You see gyms closed down. But you see liquor stores closed down. But it was all about health, right? It was all about protecting everybody. You're a hypocrite, man. And you're lost because like a ship in a storm, you have no guidance. You're just gonna waver to and fro. Wherever the wind takes you, you're gonna follow. And that's what people are doing now. They're just following whoever they see is popular or whatever they hear in the echo chamber. All right, so social media is one of the thing about social media is one of the greatest weapons of all time. But it was supposed to be a tool that was weaponized. It was always a weapon, but it had the potential to be used as a tool. The thing about social media that baffles me is you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them, even like your Snapchat, whatever. And people will join the social media platform to talk to the people, to communicate with people. Right? But why join multiple social media platforms to communicate with the same people? You're gonna follow the same people on one platform that you do on another, man. Right? You're gonna hear the same content. You can consume the same type of content. That's all an echo chamber. Anything you don't like, you're gonna avoid. You're gonna downvote. You're gonna say, don't show this in my algorithm again. Anything you do like, you're gonna continue watching it, continue scrolling. And so it's catered to basically not only yourself, but also they inject things to make you believe and have one type of mindset. But you do this on multiple platforms. Why join multiple platforms? Why not just stick to one? Why not just have Facebook? Why not just have Instagram? Why not just have a Twitter? You join 6 of them, you join 10 of them to communicate with the same people. It's weird. It's fascinating because why do people still do it? People are lost, man. The majority of those places are hypocrites, man. They say one thing, but they do another. If you go to the book of Matthew, if you go to the teachings of Yahweh Shai, not just the book of Matthew, Slakia, he constantly berates the hypocrites. Hypocrites are hated, man. Nobody likes a hypocrite. Right? If you go stay in the book of Sirach, Sirach 1:29, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Don't be a hypocrite in the sight of men. Right? Understand what you're saying. Take good heed, beware of the things you say, because Your actions have to align with your speech. All right, this is why people hate uh, religions, specifically me talking about Christianity. Right? This is why people hate Christianity. This is why atheism is huge in this place. Because so-called Christians will say one thing, but they'll do another thing. They'll act another way. All right? They'll say they love the Lord, but they'll hate their neighbor. Right? How can you love the Lord but hate your neighbor? What does the Lord say in the book of I believe it's First John. The book of First John chapter 4 and 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear. Because fear has torment. He that feareth is not made in love. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that hateth his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the Most High whom he has not seen? Right? You can't say you love Yahweh Shem Yahshai and hate your neighbors. All right? It's not possible, man. All right? Hey, because the Lord loved us. All right? So we have to be examples of the Lord. We have to walk in a way, carry ourselves, conduct ourselves in a way godlike, man. At the end of the day, hey, the Lord wouldn't do that, so don't do that. The Lord wouldn't commit adultery, so don't commit adultery. You wouldn't see the Lord smoking a blunt, smoking weed, smoking a black and mild, so don't do that. All right? You wouldn't see the Lord being a sodomite, so don't do that. You wouldn't see the Lord eating pork, so don't do that. Right? You wouldn't see the Lord wearing weird ass clothing, right? So don't do that. You wouldn't see the Lord wearing clothing with demonic clothing. All right, so carry yourselves and conduct yourselves in a God-like way. All right, so this way when people see us, they see examples of the Lord. All right, because the Lord is an example unto us. So when the other nations, people around us, you know, they gotta be like, yeah, those are the people, man. Those are that people. Right, but you look at our women today, and you say your mind, they just destroyed. I seen a video. I believe a bro posted this on Instagram. He was like, this is most supposed video of harlot music, or a bunch of harlots, or a group of harlots when one was rapping. Those videos where people be outside rapping and the microphone be hanging from the video or hanging down in front of them. But these women were in wheelchairs, and they were talking about how great their genitalia is. All right, disgusting work, man. You look at that and say, oh, these are God's chosen people, man. You won't say that in your mind, man. But you have to, because the Lord said how he's going to destroy his chosen people, right? He's going to put a yoke of iron on their neck until they are destroyed. Right? So the yoke of iron came off, but the destruction is still there, man. And it's evident. So, and one way you could look at our people and be like, you can look at 2/3 of our people like, ah, damn, these niggas is through. But on the other hand, you can look at them and be like, hey, the Lord fucked them niggas up, man. The Lord fucked our people up. Alright? Hey, because we didn't take heed. But people pretend that they take heed. People act like they take heed. People put on air that they take heed. They say they take heed, but they truly don't, man. They truly don't. So don't be a hypocrite beside of men. Finishing off in 1 John 4:21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth Yahweh love his brother also. Right? Hey. You can't love the Lord and say You love the, or you sloppy. You can't say you love the Lord, but hate his chosen people, right? Or hate, members of, potential members of the elect. Oh, I hate this nigga. I hate this bitch. For what? Because the scripture says you gotta forgive your brother 70 times 7, man. But this is not talking about wicked ass niggas, but your brother, man, that's truly in the faith trying to follow Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. Right? But people in the world will pacify wickedness as long as, basically they'll join forces to attack their common enemy instead of, attacking all their enemies or shunning all their enemies. People are hypocrites, man. But here we are today. I'm bringing this No Kings protest up today because they shut down a huge part of my city, man. Not a part of the city, Slovakia. They shut down a huge part of a major road of our city, right next to an airport. And they shut down basically like half a mile or a mile of it. And it's a highway. So they shut that down, forced people to go around. They shut it down for multiple days too. And they're not saying why exactly. Some people are saying they found a body in canal. Some people are saying it's because this nigga Trump is in town and the road is next to the airport. Some people are saying they found a watchtower that is in a line of sight of his airplanes because it's right next to the airport, the road. Which I've seen the tower before. It's in a park. It's been there for years, so them shutting it down today is weird. Unless it's all because of that whole Charlie Kirk shit. That shit was a sign. Nonetheless, Slovakia. Nonetheless, they're also saying the FBI is investigating that watchtower that's been there for years, but if it's been there for years, why investigate it now? That should have been there for years. But Slovakia, let me jump over to, because I wanted to get second interest because of this so-called No Kings protest, which is prophecy, man. Biblical prophecy happening day by day, which is again showing that we're one day closer to the return of our King. One day closer out of captivity. One day closer out of this hell, man. Second Esdras 15, starting at verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's another thing that's going on inside that echo chamber known as social media. There's a lot of talk about civil war. I believe one of the so-called President Trump's former advisors mentioned how we're on the precipice, we're on the brink of civil war. And you can tell, it's easy to see. This place is so divided, man. And I'm not complaining about the division. I'm here for it, man. It needs to be divided. A place like America, it can't stand, right? Because, hey, the Lord divided the nations. The Lord separated nations, right? So, the Lord said certain nations have certain geographical areas, certain cultures, certain tongues. Hey, even when you go back to the Tower of Babel, the Lord scattered everybody's tongues, right? He divided everybody there. But they were unified, and what did they try to basically take on Yahweh outside. So the Lord is with division. So I'm not against it. And anything the Lord's with, I'm not against. So the division, I'm the Slovakia. Unification isn't possible in Babylon because it's a melting pot. You have 350 million people about, so they say, in Babylon in America, all from different countries, different nationalities, different cultures, different religions. And not only that, they have the right to express anything they want. So this place, it, it can't be cohesive. It has to be divided because it is divided. Second Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among them, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, again, this protest, what is this protest called? It's called No Kings. All right, so they're not regarding their kings. They're not regarding the people set up to be so-called in charge of them, to rule them, to govern over them. They're no longer regarding them, man. They say, hey, no kings, man. They just say, hey, you're not a king. So let's go to the word sedition. Because this is where we're at right now, man. As sedition isn't brand new, right? But a lot of it that we see, some of the examples of sedition that we've seen in recent history that was manufactured. All right, even we had sedition against the so-called left, and we had sedition against the so-called right. Meaning that nobody's satisfied as a country, as a whole. Nobody's satisfied with their rulership, right? Whether one person's president, you could have millions upon millions of people that are not content with them. If another person's president, you can have millions and millions of people that are not content with them, right? When the Lord is ruling, the entire world is going to be unified. It's not unified, unified under the law. But the entire world is going to be subject under the law, right? But that's what true unity will happen. It's not unity that kumbaya, we'll all come together, we'll all share the same land. No, it's basically unity under the law. So like, let's go to the word sedition. Sedition, according to Edamon Online or Edom Online, sedition, rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. And that's what they said about so-called January 6th. They said it was an attempt to overthrow the government. But again, that was a psyop too. Violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. Hey, and this is where we're at, man. No King's protest is the perfect example of sedition. All right? Basically, from the prefix said, without, apart, aside, and then the root issue, sedition, ITIO, a going to go. So a going apart. Yeah, you're going apart from your so-called democracy. And that's what the goal was, to have you vote every 4 years. Because hey, if you're not content with this guy, you could just vote him out in 4 years. It was all a psyop. It was all a trap. And this is all fucking modern day Rome all over again, man. Rome truly never fell, it was just transition. Babylon is Rome, man. But Rome is about to fall, man. And we're here for it. We're witnessing the end of the empire. And that's beautiful. This is why prophecy is beautiful. Because Rome allegedly fell. And who was in charge then? It was the Emperor Nero, right? And who was in charge now? Donald Trump, who was Nero in the reincarnation, which he's going to be he's around again for the second falling of Rome. All right, but this time Rome is going to fall completely. It's going to be utterly destroyed. In the first Rome, or Emperor Nero's Rome, it was burned down. The second Rome, America's going to be burned down via the thermonuclear fires and via the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, so There's nothing new under the sun. The things that happened in the past are gonna happen again, man. Time isn't a line; it's a circle, because the same spirits that are alive today were alive before, alive before. So the same things they were doing, the same things they were responsible for, right? The same type of spirit they were doing at that time. So history repeats itself because the spirits are repeating themselves, man. Beautiful, man. And they always are artists of all of it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is which shall be. The things that happened in the past are things that are going to happen in the future, man. So we're seeing things happening now, but none of it is fucking brand new, man. We're just witnessing a replay. This episode we're watching is the series of the show we're watching is a series finale of Babylon, series finale of America. Right? Because once this show is over, it's never gonna have a renewal. It's never gonna be revived. Oh, we're starting another season. No, it's over with, man. The thing that has been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Nothing under the sun is brand new, man. So, hey, we've seen so-called Donald Trump before. Emperor Nero, or Slock, Emperor, fuck that name. Nero was known for persecuting the Israelites, blaming them. We're seeing it now. Modern day Nero, blaming Jake for the troubles they're having, or the troubles that other nations in Babylon are having. Blaming so-called immigrants and getting ICE to deport people, man. It's crazy. This is the hypocrite of men. You're deporting people for so-called illegally being here, even though technically you came here illegally, right? Issachar is more native to this land than Edom is, and the so-called white man is, right? Even though technically nobody's native to America. People came here, right? That's talked about in Second Ezra. People came here to follow the Lord. Let's get that real quick. Second Ezra 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and they came into another land. They came into another land. Babylon America truly doesn't belong to anybody. But there were people that were here first. But they weren't here first as in this land was given to them. They were the progenitors of this land. No. They came here. Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Yeah, nobody else was here. So they came here and said, hey, we're going to observe the law, we're going to follow Yahweh Shemashah here, instead of, being over there. Right? So that's what happened. So, but nonetheless, Issachar is more so-called native. They have more of a right to this land. Issachar, Gad, Reuben, they have more of a claim to this land than Esau does, the so-called white man. Because Esau, Edom is the so-called white man according to the Bible. And the so-called white man is the devil according to the Bible. Right? So they have more of a claim. So the hypocrisy of men is, hey, we came to this land illegally, so-called illegally. But since we're here now, we're gonna deport you because you're here illegally. Hypocrisy, man. Right? Like you have one side of people cheering and saying, yeah, yeah, do that. We're for it. Get them out of here. Get them out of our country. You have one side of the aisle doing that, but you have the other side saying, hey, you can't do that. No king's protest, yada, yada, yada. Hey, the hypocrisy of men, the division of men. Let me go back to 2 Corinthians 15. 2 Corinthians 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men. Right? Hey, I'm going apart. Hey, you weren't happy with the president that was so-called voted in? Because none of these niggas are truly voted in, man. It's all an illusion. Everything's a psyop. But once you break free from the matrix, you understand what's truly going on in this place. And the only way to break free is by the word, man. By the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Like the book of John said, the truth shall make you free, man. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. And another thing we're seeing now, or we're hearing through the grapevine, is how, especially the nigga women, is how EBT, aka food stamps, is going to be for a lot of people, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's not going to be paid out for the month of November. Now you see these nigga women on social media threatening to crash out, threatening to say shit like, oh, if my EBT card doesn't work, when I go to the register in November, if I swipe it, best believe I'm walking out with my cart of groceries, this, that, and another. This, that, and the other. They're claiming they're gonna break laws, they're claiming they're gonna steal, they're claiming they're gonna loot. Right? Because their food stamps no longer working. Hey, and that's the thing. That's prophecy as well, man. You see how many prophecies are happening all at once, man? And that's the beauty of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because everything he says, he does, man. There's not one thing the Lord said he was gonna do, or he is gonna do, not was sloppy, that he is gonna do that hasn't been done, or that won't be done, man. None of them shall fail. None shall remain. So for purpose. We go to the book of this is a point on the money. I'm gonna read this anyway, so I feel. It's like a bill against it. I'm gonna read this 32 first, but I'm just gonna feel. Isaiah chapter 32, starting at verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. All right, just like those so-called handicapped women. Right? In your heart of hearts, your first thought is to feel sorry for people that are handicapped, for people that are disabled. Have you seen a handicapped woman wearing a handicapped nigga woman wearing weave, singing songs about how great her genitalia is? You're not gonna feel sorry for that bitch, man. You're not. But these women are at ease, so they're able to get away with shit like that. Only in America, man. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, you careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled. You careless woman. Ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Alright, hey, that EBT, that food stamp card not working for y'all no more. Right? You've been supported by the government and taxpayers for this long because you took a part in destroying your family and destroying families, destroying households. You'll get with a man, you'll have a child by him, and leave him, and then eat up all the benefits. You had life on easy mode. Life as a woman in America, easy mode. And if she's even moderately attractive, it's super easy mode, man. Isaiah 32:10. Many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless woman. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, you careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They basically mourn. And you're going to be in mourning because of what's about to happen, man. And the women are going to be mourning worse than the men. Because they're going to they're going to lean on men for protection, for safety, right? For as a cover from the wind. Like in verse 2, Isaiah 32:2, and a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a cover from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Right? And that's why women have men to lean upon. Right? Hey, if a woman can't lean upon her husband, what does she do? She gets side niggas. If she gets lean upon side niggas, what does she do? Leans upon the government, so on and so forth, right? If they can't lean upon that, they lean upon social media and things like that. But all that is going to come to an end, right? This food stamps card. Why do y'all bashing me on shy? Because that was one thing, right? One thing about the food stamp card is crazy, in my opinion, is that it's never used for food. Right? You see people in the grocery stores with a cart full of so-called food, but it'll all be processed food, it'll all be snacks, it'll all be processed meats, it'll all be pork, swine, and they feed that to their children. It'll all be fucking high fructose corn syrup, it'll all be sugar, sweet snacks. Right, that's what people do. A lot of nigga women, when they get food stamps, they're not buying fruits and vegetables and healthy meats, olive oil and shit like that. They're buying the worst shit possible and feeding it to their children. That's why the scripture says, a gift destroyeth the heart. You took that gift to destroy the household, and now you're using that gift to help destroy the next generation. There is no so-called next generation. We're at the end, right? You destroy the next generation by poisoning their mind, poisoning their mind by showing them one way is right when the way you're living is wrong. You are pushing out and breeding out effeminate men that are raised in a single-parent household, whereas the woman is the head of the household. These men are leaning more into being effeminate. These men are leaning more into being hyper emotional. These men are leaning more have a higher of a chance of being a sodomite, being a simp, all this and that and the other. So you're showing the next generation the life you're living is wrong. You Not only has that gift destroyed your heart, but it destroyed the hearts of your children, of your posterity. Because you're destroying them. Not only you're showing them how to live is wrong, you're taking them to church, you're taking them to these harlot houses, which is these Christian churches, Catholic churches. You're feeding them abominable foods. You're feeding them shit like fucking oatmeal pies, honey bun, pickled sausage, all types of shit. So you're destroying their mind, their body, and their soul. And you're doing all of that for $400, $500 a month of food stamps. But some of them do begin like $800, $1,000, $1,100 a month of food stamps, right? But they have children by multiple men, claim this and that. They'll claim food stamps benefits. They'll claim child support. They'll do all of this to help destroy the Israelite man, but help solidify the kingdom, Esau's kingdom, to help them rule even longer. Because women are hypergamous by nature, so they're just going to be attracted to whoever's winning the war, whoever's in power. All right. But Edom is not winning the war. They're fighting a losing battle. They're fighting a losing war. Even now. You see them crashing out. You see them pushing these laws now because they know that they're at the end. They know they have a short time. All right? But hey, the nigga woman has taken the side of not only their enemies but our enemies, man. We got a common enemy. But instead of joining forces, they'd rather just take their gifts and live their lives, man. They want their so-called freedom. But having a husband, being at home raising children is oppression. But going to a workplace, paying 30% of your paycheck in taxes, listening to a boss, begging and asking for a day off or for some time off, begging and asking for a raise is not oppression. All women are backwards, man. They have been deceived, but they don't understand that, man. Let's go to the book real quick of Micah. We'll go real quick. The book of Micah, chapter 7, and verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me, man. All right, hey. Because if you get knocked down, right? If you're at a low, right? If you're believing, if you're trusting Yahweh Shem Shai, that low isn't a permanent thing. It'll only be temporary. It's really only a trial to see if your faith will waver, man, because you're at a low, right? Hey, look at Job's wife. Job had it all, so that means his wife had it all too. But when that trial came to Job, that test came to Job, Job passed, but his wife failed, man. Well, what did she say? She said, "Curse the Most High and die." Failed that test, man. Just because she was living as lavish, or just because she was going through or lost a lot, man. Now she didn't lose a lot. Job lost a lot too, but he kept his integrity. And that's the difference between men and women. Man. Women will sell out their integrity way quicker than a man will. Man. Way quicker. Right? We've known that. That's the first story the Lord taught us, man. Adam and Eve, man. Because Adam and Eve had it all too, man. But Eve wasn't content. She wanted more. She wanted to usurp authority. She wanted to rule. And it sounds like the modern day nigger woman now. When I say nigger woman, I'm not talking about just so-called black women. So-called black women. There's no such thing as black people. So I'm talking about you nigger woman, not only from the tribe of Judah, but you nigger woman in the tribe of Ephraim too. All tribes, man, got that type of nigga woman. But the Judite nigga woman is the worst, by far, man. Hey, that's that tribe. So they're gonna be the head of wickedness as well. Micah 7 and 8. Lock it, it's the verse thing. And the nigga's far away, but the wind is carrying him. Micah 7 and 8. Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my case and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. That's a form, that's a show of the integrity of men. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him. I will take responsibility for what I have done because I sinned against the Lord. But what are they saying nowadays? Accountability is a woman's kryptonite. Women don't take accountability, and it's not just fucking. It's not just nigga women. It's really all women, but it's not just women, grown women. Even from a young age, children, little children, are the same way, man. Very rarely would you see a woman take and accept accountability. Very rarely, man. Right? But they get away with it here, man. Because this is truly a woman's kingdom. Right? It's crazy how modern day hell is a woman's kingdom. This is what happens when women are in rulership. Women are in charge. Women are fucking put on a pedestal. Right? Everything, all hell breaks loose. Right? Again, we learned this from the beginning. We learned this in Genesis. The woman usurped authority, and Adam and Eve were kicked out of basically were banished from the Garden of Eden. Verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Right? Hey, again, just like Job's wife. Where's your God now? Women these days, especially the nigga woman, 2/3 of our women, they are, or 2/3 of them is the worst. The worst woman in the world. That's not a biblical fact. They won't say, oh, the 2/3 women are the worst women in the world, but actually 2/3 are the worst people in the world. So technically it is. But nonetheless, you could say it's an opinion, but hey, that opinion is, I'll defend that opinion. The nigga woman is the worst woman in the world, right? They don't even like themselves, man. They hate their husbands. They hate their children, right? They hate themselves. They put makeup on. They keep their face up because they don't love the way they look. They put weave on because they don't love their hair. They'll have abortions. Hey, you look at the statistics. Who are having the most abortions? It's the nigga ones. They have abortions because they hate their children or they hate their husband. They'll put their husbands on child support. They'll get Section 8, which prevents a man living in the house with them because they hate their husbands, right? They do all of these things because they're full of hate, man. They're full of hate, right? So, I said this before, but I firmly believe it, that a woman isn't capable of love at all. A woman will only love you as far as she gets something in return. Whether it be security, whether it be comfort, whether it be financial support, right? Any of that stops. The woman will stop loving you and find somebody else to love. So-called love, right? A man, on the other hand, if men got pregnant, abortion truly wouldn't be a thing. It'll be a rare occurrence. Unlike now, you got millions upon millions of our people that were destroyed in the womb, They're destroyed in what is supposed to be the safest place for them. But they were destroyed in the womb by their own mothers. It's crazy, man. Think about it. When you actually consider the fact that abortion is legal, some people, a lot of people, they'll defend or they'll argue and march and protest about their rights to have them. People are protesting for their right to murder their own children. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. People will protest that. People will protest for the right to be a sodomite. People will protest all this shit. Everything that gets protested against is weird, bro. All protesters are weird. Let's lock it. Let me finish this real quick. Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Right? Our eyes are going to behold these women, man. Or you're no longer getting your food stamps real soon. Right? So what are you going to do, man? Think about it now. If a woman depends upon food stamps to feed herself and her children, what is she going to lean upon now that it's going to be stop? Right? Hey, is she going to become more feminine, more docile, more submissive to a man? Or is she going to lash the fuck out and crash out and become more masculine, threatening to loot, threatening to steal? Fucking crazy. But you love your children, but you're threatening to steal so you can go to jail, so they can get taken away from you, raised by the state. Because they only think about themselves, man. Women are only truly concerned with themselves. I'm not saying that, not to go off topic. There are some decent women out there, but they're few and far between. I'll say that. The majority of women are here to destroy you, man. They're truly set to destroy you. So the goal is to stay on your purpose, focus on yourself. Right? When you focus on yourself, the more you magnify and amplify yourself, you're gonna attract women anyway. So chasing women is the last thing that should be on your mind, man. All right, because when you chase something, that means it's running from you. Right? It's like they used to say at a city had a good football players because their training was chasing rabbits. And you would chase rabbits. Why? Because the rabbits were running from you. It's like in the movie Rocky. You had to chase a chicken. Chicken was running from you. Right? You chase something, it's running from you. So the goal isn't to chase, but it's to attract. Don't chase these women. You can attract women. How do you attract women? By focusing on yourself. But the most important thing for yourself is Yahweh Shem Yahshai. So focus on Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Focus on your health. Focus on your short-term goals. Like, there's nothing wrong with having short-term goals. Like, focus on that being, and be single-minded. Right? Don't be a so-called open-minded. Oh, possibility. Just fuck all that. Be single-minded. One-track mind. One of my favorite shows out right now is a show called Solo Leveling. And Solo Leveling, a dude, every time he trains, he gets a little better. But he's the only one in the world with that ability. So but he started as one of the weakest people on earth. So he started as one of the weakest people on earth. But now he has an ability to train and get better and better. But that shit is real life. The more you train, no matter what it is, if it's spiritual, physical, mental, the more you train, the better you will get. And the better you get, the better the version of you are, is the more you will attract. All right, so if you really want to chase women, if that's one of your goals, don't chase them, attract them. By focusing on yourself, focusing on the Yahweh Shem Yahshai. But then you'll realize, you'll read Genesis, you'll read Micah 7, and realize, you'll read Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, where it says,
give me not the wickedness of a woman. Or for paraphrasing, you'll realize that women ain't shit, man. Men truly are the prize. But women will never realize that. Women will never take accountability and say, all right, I apologize. I acted irrational. You know, I trusted our enemies. Let's come back and let's build together. Because that's the goal, man. The the foundation of any great society is the family. Once you ruin this family, you destroy the society. And this is why you see this nigger culture. This is why 2/3 of our people are destroyed. Because the foundation was destroyed. The family was destroyed. And you can't have family without Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So your family has to be, or your life has to be Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, and the children. That should be the order of your household. All right, but when you disobey that order, you invite chaos into your life. You invite chaos into the world, and which is where we are now. But I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, we have all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Agavodash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Graham Milton, that rule well. And I want to say peace and salutations to the 11th nation of Israel. Until next time, I want to say shalom and a Bob